We are back with the Buffalonian podcast. An unfortunate episode to have to do today. I'm Joe Cali. As always, I'm joined by Dom Loss. And Dom, another loss, unfortunately, that we're going to have to talk about here. And a pitiful one, albeit one of arguably the worst of the season, I would say.
Arguably.
New England was tough because I guess you were in that game. This is the worst game of the season the Bills have played. They looked uninspired. They couldn't get anything going on the offensive side of the football, aside from Dalton Kincaid, and then he's got a hammy issue. We're going to get into that plenty.
I'll disagree with that. I think the Falcons game was actually worse.
That one was a bad one, too.
I think the Falcons game was way worse.
That was a bad one.
Because this game, I think you could at least point to they had brutal turnovers, and that's kind of like
the reason.
You still felt like if they didn't turn the ball over 3 times, I think even how badly they played, I think they probably could find a way to at least make it close and win. That Falcons game, they were kind of that was a weird game.
No, it especially was for the Falcons too, because they've not looked like that ever since. The Dolphins actually beat them. The Patriots beat them, of course. So yeah, it's not great. The Patriots go one more game ahead. Yeah, they haven't had a bye week yet, so that's coming. But still not a great feeling that they beat Tampa Bay, who's going to come in here this weekend. We'll have plenty on that coming up later this week on the Betting on the Bills episode. But back to the Dolphins just for a second. Quick thoughts before we get into the Dom 5. The Chiefs game was a false sense of security, if you will, right? That was after the bye week, after the Carolina game, where there were still questions about the passing game. The Chiefs game was, okay, are they back? Like, could we be partially back? And a lot of people thought that. Then you go out in Miami and lay an absolute shit down in the middle of the field, and it's just not great, not a great look for the organization whatsoever at this point. Josh Allen looked uninspired. James Cook, the running game really couldn't. They took the running game away and forced him to pass, and the Bills looked terrible with the quarterback at MVP. And that's partially on the MVP just as much as it is on the scheme and receiving core. Allen is not to avoid blame in this scenario, which I'm sure the Dom 5 is going to get into. But I have plenty of thoughts I want to rattle off, and I don't want to take away from the Dom 5, so we'll jump right into that right now if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot to think of and a lot to say, and you're definitely going to touch on it. And we might get into a raw state of emotion here where just talking about this game again a few days after will just open something up within, but we're there.
I'll say this. I think this is probably the most down I've been on the Bills in a long time.
100%.
I feel like you and I are both similar in that we're both pretty optimistic. I think we're both...
Like, you do pick the Chiefs. Listen, like you do that, but you're not down on them.
You know what I think is weird, though? Ask this, though. And this is going to be, like, maybe optimism. I still think the Bills can win the Super Bowl. Like,
so do I.
Shoot me. Like, I believe that if they get healthy on the D-line, they have a pass rush, I still think they can run the ball, and they have Josh Allen at quarterback. Those 3 things are a pretty good formula, and those travel well to any place, which I think, again, I'm not trying to be sky's falling, but they're not going to win the division.
No.
I don't think they realistically, if we're being realists, they're going to have to go and be a wild card for the first time in the Josh Allen era since 2019.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of weird because, like, I feel like we're downer than normal on the Bills. But, like, when you talk to other people, it's like, wow, they are further down than we are.
Oh, they're bad.
You know what I'm saying?
We were grabbing wings with our friends the other night for Monday Night Football. What a stinker of a game that turned out to be score-wise.
Great place, though.
Great place. Culbert's. Shout out to them. 25-cent wings. Wings were crispy, saucy. Sauce was great. Listen, maybe a slept-on place in Buffalo to get chicken wings, too. Good ratio of flats and drums.
You said that last night, and it pissed me off. We were in Niagara Falls.
What did I say?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I guess the greater Buffalo area.
Like, if you said Western New York, I would be cool. But, like, saying Buffalo, I think is,
Greater Buffalo area. Western New York.
We're on edge here.
Okay. Yeah, so go check out the 25-cent wings. You can't really argue with that. $8 was the total. Like, it was awesome. But, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of our friends, and just, I mean, I have to deal with callers all the time at work. That Monday was something, let me tell you. This team needs, Allen needs to take a page out of Jack Eichel's book and leave. He's got to go somewhere else where there's a future. A lot of those calls coming in, not exactly from our friends, just from the greater population. But our friends were fire McDermott, like fire the GM. And I listen, okay. I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of like, I can't be that down on McDermott. Like, I could be frustrated, but I can't be like fire the guy.
Can I say the first thing in the Dom 5?
Okay, go ahead.
The number one
thing
is it?
Okay.
This. a Bean versus McDermott wars is brewing.
Oh no.
That's my number one.
Okay.
I think there is. These guys have been kind of together at the hip for so long. I know McDermott kind of got hired first and was actually a part of the 2017 draft, and then Bean came in later.
Right.
I think I think these guys have always been together. I thought you saw them really come together during the 23 season when it was like Bean really had McDermott's back during, when the article came out about McDermott and they were 6-6 after, going into the bye.
Right.
Now, I don't know. I get the sense of vibe that something has shifted there where I feel like those two guys are starting to like separate.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And it's kind of like, I do kind of see it. Like, I do. And I ask you this question. I have an answer, but I want to hear what you would think to this. Some magic genie comes down. You're able to fire one of them, but the other one stays in their position for 5 years. Which one are you firing today?
Bean.
Okay, then which one would you have fired a couple years ago?
McDermott. It's
100%,
switched.
100%. Like
it's 100% switched. Just from seeing, I this season though, and McDermott since that article has been very much different, more open book, right? Like we've seen that. Like yes,
he's better in the media recently.
100% better.
I'm obviously with the GR thing standing, but
that's Brandon Bean.
That's what I'm saying.
Like yeah, McDermott had nothing to do with that, right? So like Bean. That whole thing coming on the station and on Jeremy Joe and yelling, like coming at him about wide receivers, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. Like clearly he was insecure about the situation to get so heated about it, right? Like you don't get that heated about something unless someone strikes a nerve, right?
He was in the wrong. No, I will say this: slight like third party devil's advocate. I didn't agree with when GR was saying that. Oh, they should have like drafted a receiver. Like, that seemed to be, like, I didn't agree with that. I did agree, though, that, like, the room wasn't good. Like, the room needed an upgrade. I just didn't believe that, like, the draft was really going to be that upgrade for you. You know what I'm saying? Draft, that was the one thing I disagreed with.
Where you were picking in the draft, all signs were pointing towards cornerback.
And I was fine with all the defenses. Like,
yes.
I came out of that draft really fine with the draft. Like, I actually liked the draft. And I was okay. Would have liked them to maybe take a shot, like, in the 4th round. Yeah. But I didn't think that was going to really change the room.
No, I understand. And I'm with you. I'm very happy, especially with the way Max Hairston's playing.
I know he got cooked a little bit. But
he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
And he hasn't played consistently.
It was his second game, right? Third game.
Mm-hmm.
But that was his most snaps because of the Christian Benford injury and all of that. So he hasn't played that volume. I'm more the whole McDermott being kind of switching blame scenario, because there was a moment on this podcast, if you go back and listen around the Ken Dorsey firing time, that we were, okay, the head coach, a change needs to be 100% made. I'm sorry, I'm not there. I can't get behind McDermott getting fired. Just from how he has expressed his disdain for how the team is operating in the media. And also recently, he's asked, do you think this is a championship roster? Echoing Brandon Bean's comments earlier in the week about it being a championship roster. 5-second pause. I love these guys. I love these guys on the roster. Completely avoids the question. To me, that is a little bit of a
little stab,
little poke right there.
I agree.
Yeah. You can see them separating. You're absolutely right.
I'm okay. I think we're agreeing, but I think I might slightly disagree. I'm okay if they move on from either or both. Like, I'm okay. Like,
I'd be a little disappointed with the head coach, but I'd be fine with it.
Well,
that's kind of where I'm at.
That's where I'm at.
If they both go, I can get past it. If Bean stays and McDermott
I can't get past that.
I would be livid.
Yeah, no,
I would be furious.
Yeah, I would not. No.
That I'm not okay with. But if both of them go and they just try a new regime entirely, okay,
I'm okay with that.
I can see that.
I just think, I don't know. I just think Bean hasn't done. I think Bean last year should not have been the norm.
No.
That was, I think, Sean McDermott's best coaching job. I still can't believe he didn't really get any super consideration for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
But I guess when your quarterback wins the MVP, I guess it happens. But I
don't know. Both can be true.
I think both can be true, and I was kind of surprised. But obviously the best Josh Allen version we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Won the MVP. Right? And also, again, a tip to the Sean McDermott's hat, like, them beating Baltimore, I don't think he gets enough credit for that win. Like, that was an upset. I'm sorry. Like, that was like
week 1 of this year?
No, I'm talking about the playoffs.
Oh,
the
100%.
They had the perfect plan to be like, you know what? We're going to try and stop Henry. We're going to get run on eventually, but force Lamar in some turnovers, and we're going to play ball control. They did that.
The team prepared.
They did that, and granted, too, I think they would have lost that 2-point conversion. Haven't maybe, but like that. But that's what they had. That's the game they had to play to win, and they played and they won. It's frustrating for me. Like I don't know. Like I think defensively, how much say does McDermott have? I think a lot.
Now, especially, I feel like, and even last season, his hand was still in there.
So I don't know what to say about that aspect.
Like current defense.
Yes, like current Now I will say I think they're getting absolutely cucked because Ed Oliver just played 2.5 games,
and Michael Hoyt showed a legacy performance for like 2 games, and then he ruptures his Achilles. It's just ridiculous.
So that to me is why like the defense. I'm not saying they get a pass.
Well, you have a guy like Cam Lewis coming in and actually making meaningful plays.
Exactly. Like Terran's out. Like I know we want to try and focus on the game, but I feel like this is more. I feel like
this loss is a culmination of a lot.
I feel like this loss is more of we're talking big picture than we're talking just specifically this game.
The Dolphins were not the better team. They were just hungrier.
They played better.
And the Bills did not play as well. Like they played a lot
the Dolphins deserved to win. They played better and played a clean football.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're the better team on paper, but they played a hell of a game against the Bills. So and the Bills, for lack of a better term, ate crap.
Yeah. So I guess this is where number 2 of my down 5 comes in.
Okay.
I think the offensive philosophy went too hard one way.
Yeah, they overcorrected.
Mm-hmm. Now, my caveat to that conversation has always been this. They did not want to trade Stephon Diggs.
No, Diggs wanted out.
Okay, I think that gets really misled, is that they traded him in, April or May? Like, that gets super misled that they did not trade him in March. That I think gets really forgotten in the timeline.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, oh, they want... I still think they want a number 1 receiver. I just think they realized it shouldn't be Diggs, and they had a... Now, my frustration is, it was fine going a year without one, because it was like, we traded Diggs in April, like...
Well, and teams had no film of you doing that.
Well, it was just a reset.
Yeah.
It was just a reset. It was supposed to be a reset year. They won, again...
They ended up going on a legendary run because their quarterback was an alien.
And their coach, I thought, coached his tail off.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year is where it's like, like you know what? I'm gonna say it. Brandon Beane, a little Kevin Ramsey, a little bit too much in the internal development of Shakir is fine, Kincaid's been good. You still have this ground game that has gotten better,
but you're forcing Coleman on the boundary when.
But it's key. I think they put too much eggs in the basket of Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel.
100%. Curtis
and
Samuel
Palmer
contract
being injured
looks not great.
Palmer being injured sucks, but I think the problem with that signing that I said at the time is he's a fine player. Emphasis on fine. Like he's just a complementary piece.
Right.
They don't have a number 1 receiver, and I think that's where the philosophy. Listen, I think it's going to change, people. Like I think they're going.
Everybody Eats is going.
I think they're going to legitimately pursue a number 1 receiver, and I think they're going to do it a Stephon Diggs Part 2 trade.
Yeah, they're going to do it in the offseason. It's a 100% possibility.
Yes.
We've heard rumors that they were close.
It's too much smoke to not have a fire.
Right. They weren't trying to go for one in the regular season, and then in the offseason, they're not going to say, I think we're okay. Like, they're not going to do that.
So
they want a proven number 1 receiver to come in.
That's why I'll be a little bit I could be a little bit positive towards front office, because I think they know they overcorrected.
Oh, yeah.
Because that tells me they know they overcorrected. And also, with some of the interior offensive lineman contracts up, I think we're going to see them really trust Aaron Cromer to listen, David Edwards and Connor McGovern are great players. The Bills, Connor McGovern got signed an $8 million a year contract. David Edwards, I think, was $3 million when they first signed him. And I think it's actually, no, I think he makes $3 million even when they extended him.
Yeah.
They aren't paying those guys anything. So it's just the natural evolution of those guys did their contracts.
They're going to outplay the contract.
Kudos to them.
Elsewhere.
Now let's have the belief that we could do it again. I think they had to do that with the offensive line. So the offensive line might be a little shaky next year.
But that's where you get a
number 1 receiver.
It could help counteract that a bit.
So that's where I think the offensive philosophy will change next year a little bit. It's just frustrating that they came in this year with a similar philosophy of last year when I think they really had really should have been aggressive
Mm-hmm.
to get a difference maker receiver.
100%. And difference maker is the key word. I think there was a bit of offensive arrogance this season after coming off of the season they had last year and doing it how they did it, right? Arrogance might, I would say arrogance, just because you did it once, you think you can do it again. You're a little overconfident in it. But also, James Cook in the running game this year are better than they were last year, right?
Mhm.
Like him specifically, that's his backfield now. So that's a big change. But like you said, they overcorrected to the point where the MVP behind the line of scrimmage isn't making a difference this year, where in years past it has. Like once you stop the run game, once you stop James Cook, Josh Allen becomes in the passing game become obsolete, and you've stopped them.
Especially in most pass situations.
Yes.
And this goes to number 3. I think the Joe Brady offense is to me, it's the opposite because it's not like what Ken Dorsey was running, but it feels Ken Dorsey-ish when you look at all the advanced numbers, you look at all the raw totals,
Yep.
and you're like, this is a top 5 offense. Like, why are we complaining? But if you it's all about the eye test with this. Something is just off. With this team, nothing is easy. Josh threw for 300 yards. That was a fraudulent 300-yard game.
It was
I'm
bad.
not gonna lie. That was like what 2 plays? He's just running around on like 3rd and long and 4th and long, and he just heaves it downfield and it's caught.
Yeah.
Like, those are 50 of his yards.
He's running
right there.
around for 35 seconds, runs 200 scrambles for basically 200 yards,
Exactly.
and then like uncorks it. Like no one was getting open in time, and it was just ridiculous.
That's my frustration with this team is
the offensive line basically created a second pocket for him on that double.
The offensive line is playing pretty well, so like, that's a positive.
Yeah.
But that's with like Joe Brady, and then I think the 4th for me is I do think they need Allen to level up.
Yeah, he's been a little slow this season, for sure.
He's just not quite played at the MVP level he did last year, and they need him to.
You've seen flashes of it. That Baltimore comeback, that was there, right? That's the reason they were able to do what they did. Since then, though,
exactly,
you can literally one finger tells you the amount of games that's happened.
Well, I mean, he still has the moments. I just think he needs to play better within the structure of the offense. I think that's Josh's number 1 issue. He's not letting the ball rip underneath. He's being really greedy because he's throwing the ball downfield a lot. I think people like, oh, we don't have the deep passing game. He's still chucking the ball down the field.
Mm-hmm. Just not connecting.
He needs to relax and start taking the paper cuts again a little bit.
I think is he listening to the noise? Could that be a problem?
No, he needs to take the paper cuts. I think he needs to start throwing people open because the Bills, again, the casual thing to be like, oh, the Bills are just getting a bunch of man coverage. They're not.
No, they're not.
The Bills are getting a bunch of zone coverage, and the fact is, like, Josh is just unwilling to at the moment do it because they know, like, if we play zone, we can have more eyes on Josh Allen, so he's not going to run and kill us with too much of his legs, and we don't fear the receiver, whatever. I just think for me, with Josh, he just needs to play better on the field. And I think he does need to be, again, we're not around the guys every day.
No.
I just think the vibes of Josh this year are a little,
they're falling flat.
It's a little bit like, he's just a little, like, whiny. I hate to say that. I think that's, like, kind of like a boomer thing, but, like, I would like to him not to be, like, all pissed off when he comes to the sideline. Like, you're the franchise, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I do listen. I understand frustration. I do. Like
frustration. That's that word.
If your receivers are struggling to get open, if he might be frustrated just in the state of the offense as a whole, I'm okay with frustration because that shows he cares. It to the point though where you're saying the frustration is showing through, and I think hindering a lot. Like you're just like pissed off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the fog needs to go away. I'm all for being frustrated and riling your guys up. That's one thing. But like you're saying, where the frustration's overtaking the vibes of the game and the vibes of the team, I can't have that. And the Bills bring in Mecole Hardman, just to gloss over that real quick. You see the vibes in practice, though, doing handshakes with the guys. Like, they seem like they're there. But, like, on the field, you're right. Like, he comes off always pissed off. He comes off, like, Keon Coleman kicking the ball. Like he's frustrated, like, when he doesn't get pass interference on that one deep shot. Like, the vibes just seem different this season. Weird. It's not as loose as it was last year.
Yeah.
And it might be too rigid. I don't know. Not too rigid from the top down.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like within the tattered, if you will.
So I think short-term fix for the season is Josh needs to elevate his game.
Yeah.
Long-term fix is I think they need to get a number one receiver because I think that would really help open up and dictate coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're getting all this man. Especially when they get man, you got a guy that can win. And especially when you get zone, like you got a guy like you have a guy that like, hey, we really can't leave him one-on-one the backside. Like we have to have like at least a safety.
We can't put our fourth string nickel corner on him like we do with Keon Coleman.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
you have to have like, oh man, like that's where he's lined up. Oh, he moved. Like, something to change the eyes of the defense.
Right.
They don't have that.
No.
And so that's where I think that would help the scheme of Joe Brady. That would help the play of Josh Allen. That would help the offense in
exactly.
general.
And that's my big point. When people say, oh, Brady's scheme needs to improve. Well, to have a good scheme, you need to have talent, right? That you need a difference maker.
I don't think Brady's doing a good enough job because I think he's become a little too predictable.
No, I agree. I just think to really not be predictable and you need an X factor. You need that talent to elevate your scheme to that next level. Granted, the one argument with him is Diggs became an everybody eats receiver as well. But like the philosophy, you're right, I think has to change. This can't continue, right? Like this just cannot be the mantra for the rest of it. Can it? Like,
I'm fine. How do I put this?
I'm all for not having a ball hog.
I'm fine getting a number one receiver and them putting like 1,100 yard seasons.
Yeah.
Like that's the guy that needs.
Beat Mike Evans.
Because I don't. You know I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
I know they're playing the Bucs even though he's not playing. But like they don't need a Diggs who got 1,500 and got force-fed targets.
No.
Right? That's the thing of Diggs that I don't think people understood is that Diggs was really valuable even though he wasn't getting the ball because he was dictating coverage.
Right.
Right.
You had to watch Diggs.
Even if he had the production, like, oh man, he's like probably gonna be like he's like barely has like 1,000-yard pace with Joe Brady. That's fine. I would take that. If they got a wide receiver that was like dictating coverage and was only getting like 1,000 yards a season, I would take that. That's a multiplier to Khalil Shakir, right? Who went off during the Diggs thing. Like that's a multiplier to the rest of your offense.
Look at Gabe Davis when Diggs was on the team. Like he had, I mean, he was better than he was when
Well, he never was.
Well, when Diggs, Brady, and Davis were on Davis became a blocker, right?
Sure.
Like he really wasn't.
Had a role.
He had a role. He wasn't really a receiver anymore. Like he had a couple games where he put up 100 yards, whatever.
But then he had a couple of games where
he had a couple games 0-0.
But he still had the impact of
exactly
what he was doing.
And a lot of those games though, where he was able to still put up yards, was because Diggs was dictating the coverage. That's where Gabe Davis was his most successful. So listen, Keon Coleman, if you get a true X receiver and you kind of just fit Keon Coleman into the system somewhere, it might be a little more sustainable, right? Than trying to force him into the X receiver role.
I'm fine with next season going in wide receiver 1, having Josh Palmer be the complementary outside, having Khalil Shakir in the slot, and having Keon Coleman for depth.
Yeah.
That's the ideal.
Right. Do they trade Coleman, you think?
No.
You don't think they throw him in for anything, even the X guy?
What value does he really have?
Could fit him in somewhere. Like a team
look at A.D. Mitchell, though. He didn't have like any value.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying.
At least it felt like he didn't have any value. But
I mean, he might. Who knows?
Number 5, defense get healthy.
Yeah, we need you.
I think the defense really does need to get healthy. Bishop made a nice play. Harrison, while I think he struggled for most of the game, had the nice play in the fourth quarter on the interception.
He did. Did you see that closing speed on Achan's touchdown too?
Yeah, that was nice.
You saw his.
He also on the touchdown that he got burnt on. If he would have turned his head around, I think he could have made the play for the ball, and it wouldn't have been a flag nor a touchdown.
Yeah. But he's a young player.
He's a young player. He's gonna make mistakes. I think that those are all good. But still, Bishop made nice, really plays the free safety, right? And he's made some nice plays. I just think they need to get healthy. I think the second level is defense. Milano is just a whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shaq Thompson needs to be the Michael linebacker over Terrell Bernard.
100%.
Because I just think I'm not out on Terrell Bernard as a player.
No, I'm on board with this.
I am just out on him playing hurt.
Yeah.
Clearly injured.
Mm-hmm.
Battling through injury, being the starting linebacker.
Well, it's like watching Taylor Rapp in the beginning of the season.
I couldn't agree more. That was like exactly what I was going to say.
You could tell something's wrong with this guy.
He's not the same player he was.
What happened to him?
Exactly.
And he's clearly, we found out he had a knee injury, a lingering knee injury all season. And now he went on IR all of a sudden, and he's out. He's probably out for the rest of the season.
They need to get Shaq Thompson back. That was an underrated loss when he injured his hamstring.
Yes.
So, yes, I think Terrell Bernard really needs to sit. And again, I'm not giving up on him long term. I just think short term for the season, he needs to sit.
Yeah. Let him recuperate.
Let him completely agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive tackle, looks like you're getting TJ Sanders back.
TJ Sanders needs to come in and do what he can. We'll see what happens.
We're getting Daquan back. Oh, Daquan came back, last week.
Daquan came back and played edge rusher last week.
That's how bad it was.
That's just rough.
And then Ogunjobi is fine, whatever.
He might pop. Who knows? Like, he might.
He made a splash. I don't know. Ogunjobi's always been kind of like.
There's a reason they signed him to a 1-year contract and Hoyt to a 3.
He's always been kind of, But and then Deion Walker, hopefully, maybe with getting Sanders back in the rotation, Ogunjobi getting more on the run, with Daquan coming back off injury. I hope that lowers Deion Walker's playtime actually a little bit.
Yeah, he's out there a lot.
Just so he's a little bit more fresher.
But he is playing well.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
I would like that. And then edge.
AJ Epinesa get healthy?
We're getting Epinesa back. Groot was fine, I thought. They didn't really get much pressure on Tua. I don't know if that would...
Bosa was having the best day.
Felt like that was kind of game script-wise. They just ran the ball a lot. They were doing kind of chips and stuff.
Yeah, Tua got that ball out quick.
Let it out quick.
Yeah,
Bosa had a pretty good game, other than he just has the club on his hand. What was he gonna do?
Yeah, I saw McDermott yelling, "Wrap him up!" And
I think he was talking. He was talking to the second defender because the second defender came in like shouldered.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Dude, wrap him the hell up!"
Yeah,
like, why would you do that?
Bosa's out there. I mean, that club could be a weapon. That's a dastardly.
Some states it is.
Yeah, just going into someone's arm. But hey, I got a shout out though in the secondary. Cole Bishop, continue to play the way you are. Like, in all seriousness, couldn't ask for anything better out of him. Taylor Rapp getting injured, not great, but watching Cole Bishop step up and do what he's been doing.
Continue to make plays.
It's not just 1 week. This has been multiple weeks.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row. He's been an impact player in that secondary.
100% agree.
So now that pick is. I remember when we were talking about it. Like, Cole Bishop's got to wake up. Like, this is
it's
looking
a good
bad.
pick. It seems like it's a good pick. So that's where I'm at with the defense. Is that I think it's hard for me to put a lot of onus on the defense. Yes,
tough.
The final numbers look really bad, especially Achane.
Injury-wise, though.
But those were 2 long touchdowns when the game was 10 points. Like, yes, and those are 3rd and longs when they shouldn't have given those up.
That last rushing touchdown, it was over before that.
Yeah,
anyway,
I just think I need to see this defense for a couple more weeks before I really just go in on them.
And we were watching Daquan Jones play edge also. So, I mean, there's only so much you can really take away from
This was an
that.
offensive issue, but...
Yeah, when your defense is that tattered, your offense should be able to... I mean, they still held the Dolphins to 16 points for most of the game. Your offense should have been able to take care of that. And
it is a frustrating game. You fumble, not a good start.
Mm-hmm. And then Josh, like you said, selfish, right? Like, I do see a little bit of it, but I also kind of understand, going for those extra yards in his mind because he's not confident, he's not comfortable, so he's like, I got to do this, and then he ends up fumbling, right? So it's just like I see both sides of it. I'm just like, what a nightmare. If you had told me last year this is how the year after that season was going to be, like, at this point, I wouldn't have believed you. I really wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Obviously, the turnovers, all 3 of them, kind of deep in Miami territory.
Mm-hmm.
The second half, you're down 16-0. You have this long, sustainable drive, and you throw an interception on 3rd down in the red zone, and Miami gets stuck the ball at 20. I think that was kind of the whole, man, we're probably going to lose. Because, again, that's kind of the problem sometimes, dinking and dunking, and teams force you to do that. Is you took 9 minutes off the clock, and you got nothing.
Miami burned clock. They played a good game. They did play a really good game.
Credit to Miami.
Credit to the Dolphins. They won their Super Bowl. It was pretty cool for them, dancing in the locker room after the game.
I hate that. I hate people that do that. I think that's so belittling.
What?
It's the same people that
the Super Bowl stuff or the dancing in the locker room.
The Super Bowl stuff is so dumb.
I know.
I hate when people say that.
That's your average. That's your average thought.
It's the same thing when people do that when we beat the Chiefs last week. It's like,
right.
Okay.
Congratulations, Buffalo. Yeah. There was one guest, one of the Kansas City guys. The only reason I said it is because I knew I'd get a rise out of you. I fucking, pardon my language, hate that too. But the Kansas City guy joined a radio show last week, and he's like, "Oh, I'm always happy to come on and preview the Bills Super Bowl in November, and then I get to preview the Chiefs in February." So I'm like, "Oh, whoa, man, that's a rough look." But yeah, no. Anyway, on to Tampa Bay. We'll have betting on the Bills coverage for you later this week. Do have to say, big update for something later in the Bills season. They do, in fact, have to play Joe Burrow more than likely. So that's going to be a lot of fun playing that Cincinnati game. So we'll see what happens there. But pauses on purpose, by the way. I really don't want to talk about the hockey team. I really don't.
I thought you were going to say we had to take a break.
No. Oh, I've totally forgotten to do that, too. We probably should. We'll take a time out. We'll be back with more of the Buffalonian podcast on the other side. Welcome back to the Buffalonian podcast. You might hear a commercial after the intro there to fit that one in at a time. But, we're back. The Bills, rough loss in Miami. Can they bounce back? We'll talk about it on Friday with a Betting on the Bills episode. Now we look to the hockey team that, season could be over if they don't win on this road trip. Like, I really don't know what to think. This is your captain. Your captain is on a leave of absence now, and I'm totally fine with that because I think some things are bigger than the sport, like the whole Damar Hamlin thing. It's similar, right? Bigger than hockey. Anyone who says otherwise and that he is, I've heard heinous things said about him, is an absolute asshole. So I'm laying out there right now. Sorry, a little more vulgarity on this episode. I'm just running a little hot. So anyone who says anything about Rasmus Dahlin can just miss me with that. Tage Thompson's playing his way off of Team USA. Tuck's barely, you want a contract for double digits, yet you're playing like someone who gets $8 million a year, right? Like you're playing like shit. Pardon my language again. And then you legitimately, this team is just falling apart at the seams. I am so tired of even giving anyone an ounce of credit on this team because every time you give them a little bit, they just absolutely roll over and take a dump. And it's just so frustrating. I'm so... Kevin Adams needs to be fired. I'm sorry. We're sitting here on a road trip right now. They're playing Utah next. Oh, no, they already played Utah, right?
No,
they play him tonight.
Play
him tonight. Recording this on a Wednesday. They play him tonight. They lost to Carolina already. You play Utah. If you lose to them, if you lose the next game as well, you're in shambles, and this needs to be cleared out. I'm sorry. Coaching, the power play looks like absolute crap again. Like, I'm sorry, this is coming off rather ranty and rather just emotional, but like I have nothing really analytical to say about them other than they stink. Like
they do.
In all seriousness, they stink. JJ Paterka's talking to Alex Tuck when Utah was here saying, "Oh, they treat us so well here." They have palm trees, JJ? All those palm trees in Utah? Really? Like Kevin Adams? Like what are we doing? People want to play in Utah, Mormon country. What are we doing?
I think two things.
It's supposed to be hockey heaven, and it's hockey hell.
I think two things should happen.
Okay.
In the relatively short term. I think one, I completely agree. I think Kevin Adams should be fired.
He should have been fired yesterday, like 2 seasons ago.
I don't think this is any Kulik, really scary situation. The blood clot.
That is also very scary. I hope he's okay. Yeah. Blood clot, Zucker never a good thing.
Zucker, too, not being elite solid food for 9 days is crazy.
What?
Jason Zucker?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
what?
He's an 8 solid food in 9 days and was like lost a considerable amount of weight from a virus. Yeah. And then Benson's. So like
the injury bug has bitten this team very hard.
So like I'm not gonna lie,
this is bad.
It's funny to say this, but like they have gotten completely crap luck. Like that's just true. Like UPL gets injured in training. Like Kessling
Greenway has a surgery in the offseason.
Like
yeah,
all of it is very true. However,
not an excuse.
Kevin Adams doesn't deserve a single ability to use that as an excuse because this is year 6. I'm sorry, brother. Like, you built this mess.
You're going to be going into year 15 of the playoff drought, and he accounts for almost 50% of it. He's at 40% of it if they don't make it. They're not making the playoffs this year. I'm saying that right now.
Okay.
I don't think they will.
Okay.
If with this current management.
They have a 26.6% chance of making the playoffs right now.
Okay. They've had.
You betting that or?
Am I betting that?
Yeah.
I'm betting against it. I'm betting them missing the playoffs because every year we get excited about a 20% chance or even, hell, a 1% chance 90% of the time towards the end of the season. Oh, they could still make it if all this stuff happens. I'm out. I'm so done. It's not even funny.
Okay. Are you okay?
I might be, I might switch my allegiance.
Oh.
In all seriousness, I might.
Holy crap.
I want to root for a hockey team that can win a hockey game and not just get loser points.
I think
you could have been third place numerous times. You could have been in a playoff spot numerous times. Guess what? Oh, it's just an overtime loss. Oh, they got a point. Fuck that. I'm so far past that. It's not even funny. They got a point. It's the same point that's made about being happy about the Bills winning a football game. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm past just being happy about a win. This team should be winning the Super Bowl. The Sabres should be making the playoffs. I'm sick of the loser points. I'm sick of that. Be happy they got a point out of it. No, I won't be. I won't be because they should be getting 2 points, and they're giving other teams in their division 2 points. Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm so done. I really am. This team's taking everything out of me. The football team's bad, and I could care less about that because I know they're going to bounce back at some point, whether it be this season or next. The hockey team, we're 15 years into this crap, and it doesn't look like the tanks are rolling in. They're breaking the walls down at KeyBank Center. Are they going to tank?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Sorry, I'll digress for a moment.
No,
I
I agree with most of the sentiment you've been saying. Maybe not the tone. I'm just not that upset because this team has I just don't care. Like, and that's what sucks. Like, I think in the beginning of the season, we all got really excited. It's like, oh, this team's actually playing like an actual team. And yeah, it's been frustrating now seeing that, like,
well, when Zach Benson's your difference maker and
exactly.
19-year-old, and then he's out of the game.
That's been zapped from us because of all the other stuff. That's frustrating. However, the build-up of all this, I just think, again, Kevin Adams should be fired. You need a fresh start in the front office. You need some credibility in your front office. He should be fired.
Who's the guy from Toronto?
Shanahan should be the president of Brent Shanahan should be the president of hockey operations. Have Kekalainen
be the GM.
Be the GM. I just
new regime
credibility. I love Lindy Ruff. See ya. Like, again, just hasn't worked.
I didn't think that was a great idea from the beginning. I thought it was a nostalgia hire.
I was more pro than you were, but I'm gonna be saying right now, he should go enjoy retirement. Get Seth Abbott.
He doesn't deserve this crap.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
give Seth Abbott to the moon or the sun, either or that wants him. Maybe had to give for something to do it.
Yeah,
because he's awful.
No, it's bad.
And
it's bad.
Listen, I think the second thing I would do is I think they should trade Alex Tuck. I
would trade him for anything at this point. Like, in all seriousness.
Okay, I'm not that far. Relax.
Well, I'm just saying. This front office, I think, would let him walk. 100%. Kevin Adams, I guarantee.
I know that when they would sign him,
they would. They would do one of those two things. They would not trade him, which I think is the mistake. Send him somewhere for a return to a team that he's got playoff experience, and you could. Listen, he's got some value to him. You can get a good return for him.
You get a first and a good player.
Do it.
This team, if they were a serious team, would do that.
I think Kekalainen and...
Not hold my breath because this team is not serious at all.
No, they're the farthest thing from serious. But we're watching a comedy. We're watching This Is the End when it's the Sabres.
I don't really have anything more to say.
I don't either.
They're a joke.
We're going to see what happens on this road trip. You might as well call it a comedy tour at this point because that's basically what we're watching on the ice. And you wonder why there was more enthusiasm in the building for Team USA women's hockey than there has been for a Sabres game in recent times. So good thing the Bandits start playing there at the end of the month because that arena deserves to have some seats filled. And the Sabres are not doing that, especially if they continue to play the way they have. So
frustrating, but I guess we'll continue to cover them every week. But I think
there might be a time like last season where towards the end and we just know it's not happening, we just stop because if it gets interesting though, if they do make some changes, I'm all for it.
I think something has to change by Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean Christmas at the latest.
Yeah,
I mean come on.
Yeah, I don't know,
especially because of how bad we think they're gonna play. Like, it's just I'm done.
Yeah,
it's like put a fork in me. Like it's just I don't know how you spin this positively either.
There's no way.
Okay, I like Benson, but he's been banged up. Doan's been fine.
Everybody you like is currently injured.
Kesselring hasn't really played that well, but they continue to play him with Byram, even though, why did you trade for... I thought he was supposed to be Power's partner.
Right, and Power has been on and off.
He played pretty well against Carolina, though. He stepped up, being the number one D-man.
Right.
So I guess if you want to be positive, I'm interested to see how Power plays with this Stalin absent.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really interesting.
If he can step up, and that's one thing you can...
I guess the other positive, too, is we're really showing the entire NHL some of these young Rochester forwards, Austin and Roseanne, and they play well. Maybe we trade one of them for a piece.
I'm sick of having the number one prospect pool in the NHL. Start using it to rebuild at this point.
So
that's what I
we'll see.
We'll see. Yep, it's tough. And Luukkonen's hot and cold again. I know small sample size, but we're back to
Katy
like
Perry.
2 years ago. What'd you say?
Katy Perry.
Yeah. Yes and you're no. You're in and you're out. You're up and you're down. Though that's going to do it for this edition of the Buffalonian podcast. Stay tuned for the tier list later this week and then betting on the Bills going into the weekend. Yeah, we're here. Hopefully the Bills win against Tampa, but we'll talk to you about that later. I'm Joe Cali. He's Dom Loss. Dom, how do we always end these, buddy?
Go Bills, baby.
Go Bills.